The village of Hollow Creek was shrouded in whispers. The forest pressed close, a wall of ancient trees and rustling leaves. At the forest's edge, almost swallowed by the woods, stood Blackwood Manor. Its stone walls were crumbling and vines draped like skeletal fingers across its face. The windows were dark, hollow eyes staring into the village. No one dared go near, not anymore. The village elders spoke of a curse, a tragedy that had silenced the manor's laughter centuries ago. Now only the wind moved through its broken windows, only the owls hooted from its chimney, and every night a single light flickered in the attic window, a beacon in the darkness that both terrified and fascinated the villagers. They called her Eleanor. Some said she was a ghost, others claimed she was a witch. All agreed she was trapped within Blackwood Manor, bound to it by a force no one understood. She never aged. Her beauty remained untouched by time, a cruel joke from the entity that held her prisoner. Every night the villagers watched the flickering light. They whispered stories about Eleanor, tales passed down through generations. Some spoke of her sadness, others of her anger. But no one knew the truth. No one dared to venture close enough to find out, except for Lucas. Lucas was young, he was reckless. He was also tired of the whispers, tired of the fear that clung to the village like cobwebs. He wanted answers. So, on a night when the wind howled like a banshee and rain lashed against the windows, he made a decision. He would go to Blackwood Manor, he would find Eleanor, he would uncover the truth.
It started as a dare, a drunken boast in the village tavern. But as I walked toward the manor, the weight of the village's fear settled on my shoulders. I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the storm.
He pushed open the creaking gate and stepped onto the overgrown path. He didn't look back. The manor was a labyrinth of shadows and dust. Cobwebs clung to Lucas like ghostly fingers. The air was heavy with the scent of decay. He climbed the crumbling staircase, each step groaning beneath his weight. Finally, he reached the attic. The flickering light beckoned him forward. In the center of the room stood a woman. She was even more beautiful than the stories described. Her eyes were filled with a deep sadness. Beside her, an ancient mirror reflected her image. A perfect, youthful reflection that belied the age of the room, the manor, the woman herself. She turned to Lucas.
Please help me.
Eleanor told Lucas her story. She spoke of a curse, of a mirror that stole her soul, trapping her within its depths, keeping her young, but at a terrible cost. Bound to the manor, she was doomed to walk its halls alone. Forever. Only the destruction of the mirror could free her.
Only the destruction of the mirror can free me.
Lucas, moved by her plight, didn't hesitate. He grabbed a heavy candlestick from the floor and smashed it against the mirror's surface. The glass shattered, a deafening explosion of sound that echoed through the manor. The air crackled with energy. Eleanor cried out, a mixture of hope and terror in her voice. Then she began to fade. Dust rained down, swirling around Lucas like a macabre snow globe. The manor groaned. The wind howled. The flickering light in the attic window went out. Lucas stood in the darkness, covered in dust, the broken candlestick heavy in his hand. He felt a coldness seep into his bones. The air grew thick, suffocating. Panic welled in his chest. He had freed Eleanor, but at what cost?
What have I done?
He stumbled from the attic, his reflection in the remaining shards of the mirror no longer his own. His youthful face was drawn and pale, his hair streaked with grey. He heard his friends calling his name from outside, their voices distant and afraid. He tried to follow, but an invisible force held him back. He was trapped, the new guardian of Blackwood Manor, the new prisoner of the cursed mirror. And as he watched his friends flee, their faces twisted in horror, he knew his fate was sealed. He was now bound to the manor, doomed to age rapidly, to become the reflection of the terror he had tried to escape.
No,